Ladies and gentlemen, let me hit you with something that changed my entire life, and could absolutely change yours. It's simple, it's powerful, and it only costs you 60 minutes a day. I call it the 1 hour rule. Every single one of us, me, you, everybody, wants more clarity, more progress, more results. We want to write the book, launch the business, learn the skill, get healthier, feel fulfilled. But you know what the biggest lie is. We tell ourselves, I don't have time. That is a lie. You don't need more time. You need 1 hour of focus time every day. That's it. 1 hour a day, every day, working on that thing you keep putting off. The dream, the idea, the habit, the project. That's how lives change. Here's the truth no one tells you. It's not the massive effort that changes your life. It's the daily, boring, consistent effort that no one claps for. I've seen people transform their entire career by waking up 1 hour earlier and writing code every morning. I've watched someone lose 100 pounds not by joining a boot camp, but by walking for 1 hour every day. I've seen moms with toddlers write best, selling books by carving out just one sacred hour at night. Why does it work? Because 1 hour of intentional effort adds up. That's 365 hours a year. That's over 9 full work weeks dedicated to the thing that matters most to you. But here's the kicker. Most people don't do it. You know why? Because they're waiting to feel motivated. Stop waiting for motivation. Motivation is unreliable. Motivation is a myth. What you need is a system, a non-negotiable hour every single day. Treat it like a meeting, like a job, like your future depends on it. Because it does, and I don't care if you start with 15 minutes and build your way up. Just start. Put your phone down, shut the door. Set a timer and go. The first week, you'll hate it. The second week, you'll resist it. The third week, you'll depend on it. And by the fourth week, you'll wonder how you ever lived without it. Ladies and gentlemen, your life is waiting. 1 hour a day is all it takes. 1 hour to change your habits. 1 hour to build your dream. 1 hour to write your legacy. The 1 hour rule can change your life if you're bold enough to follow it. Consistency beats intensity. That's not just a catchy phrase. It's the absolute truth when it comes to real, lasting transformation in your life. Most people are obsessed with big, flashy moments. We love dramatic before and after stories. We get excited about overnight success, viral posts, and 30-day challenges that promise to turn everything around. But here's what nobody wants to admit. Those bursts of intensity don't mean anything if you can't sustain them. What actually moves the needle in your life, consistency, the boring, unglamorous daily discipline of showing up even when you don't feel like it. Think about it. Anybody can crush a workout for one day. Anyone can fast for 24 hours. Anyone can write 10 pages in a single sitting or work on their business for 6 hours on a Sunday. But will they do it again tomorrow? Will they do it when they're tired or uninspired or when no one's watching and there's no applause? That's where the real growth happens. That's where your future is built. Consistency is what separates the dreamers from the doers. The world is full of talented people who start strong. But what makes someone extraordinary is that they finish strong. And finishing requires coming back again and again, even when progress is slow. Especially when it's slow. Intensity is emotional. It's reactive. It's that rush of excitement you feel when you finally decide to start a new habit. You go hard, you overhaul your diet, you block out an entire Saturday for your new life. But that kind of energy burns out fast. Why? Because life gets in the way, because kids get sick, because work gets stressful, because motivation disappears. But if you're consistent, you already have a plan. You've trained yourself to show up no matter what. Let's take the 1 hour rule. You set aside 1 hour every single day to work on a goal that matters to you. Your business, your health, your writing, your mindset. That 1 hour becomes sacred. It's not optional. It's not something you squeeze in when you feel like it. You protect it like it's your job, because it is. It's the job of building your best self. Here's the magic part. 1 hour done consistently starts to compound. At first, it might feel like nothing. You write 500 words, you read 10 pages, you meditate, you take a walk, but day by day you're stacking wins, you're building momentum, and momentum is everything. Your brain starts to notice, your identity starts to shift. You're no longer someone who wants to write a book. You're a writer. You're not someone trying to get in shape. You're an athlete in training. And that's powerful because humans act in alignment with who they believe they are. When you become the kind of person who shows up every day, your entire life starts to change, not all at once, but piece by piece. And the best part, consistency builds trust with yourself. Every time you show up, you're proving something. You're sending a message to your own mind that says, I follow through. I don't flake on me. I don't break promises to myself. That kind of self-trust is rare, and it's magnetic. Other people start to notice it. Opportunities start to find you, not because you were loud or flashy, but because you were relentless, quietly, repeatedly. You don't have to do something amazing every single day. You just have to do something. That's where most people get it wrong. They think if they can't be perfect, they shouldn't bother. That's nonsense. You don't win by being perfect. You win by refusing to quit. You win by showing up at 70% or 40% or even 20% because you know that consistency intensity. Always, and I get it, consistency isn't sexy. It's not going to make your Instagram feed pop. It's not going to impress your friends when you tell them you worked for an hour every day this week on your manuscript or walked 5,000 steps each day. But let me tell you something. 5 years from now, those hours will have built something incredible. A book, a business, a body you're proud of, a life you chose with intention. Intensity fades, life throws curveballs, motivation dries up. But consistency, that's how legacies are built. That's how you become unstoppable. Not because you're the best or the smartest or the luckiest, but because you never stopped moving forward. So if you're waiting for the perfect day to go all in, stop, go small, go steady, go now, and don't stop. 1 hour every day, keep the promise. That's how the game is won. 1 hour a day equals 365 hours a year. That's not just a nice statistic. It's a radical truth that, when you actually grasp it, can completely flip your mindset. Let's break that down because people drastically underestimate the power of time when it's used with intention. If you take just 1 hour 60 minutes every single day and direct it toward one goal, one dream, one improvement, you'll end up with the equivalent of over *** 940 hour work weeks ** dedicated entirely to that one thing. That's not a little progress, that's transformational. Think about what you could accomplish with 9 full-time weeks set aside just for your personal growth, your health, your business, your art, or your relationships. Imagine if someone walked up to you and handed you a plane ticket and said, here's a free 9-week sabbatical, do whatever you want with it to change your life. You'd take it in a heartbeat, you'd plan. You'd dream, you'd commit, you'd take it seriously, but here's the twist. You already have that time. You just don't notice it because it's disguised as 1 hour a day. It's hiding inside your scrolling, your binging, your procrastination, your I'm too tired tonight. It's not that you don't have the time. It's that you haven't claimed it yet. What we do with 1 hour might seem small in the moment, but time is a multiplier. It's the most honest currency there is. Time invested builds compound interest, and when you put in that hour every single day, it doesn't just add up. It expands, it gets more efficient, you get better, you learn faster, you make fewer mistakes. And eventually, the results start to explode. If you use that 1 hour every day to write, you'd have a full-length book by the end of the year. If you spent that hour exercising, you'd be stronger, leaner, and more energized than you've been in a decade. If you put that hour into learning a new skill, you'd be in the top 10% of that skill by next year. That's not a guess, that's math, that's reality. But most people never take that first hour seriously because it doesn't look big enough at first glance. It feels too small to matter. Let me tell you, small doesn't mean insignificant. Small means sustainable. Small means repeatable. And repeatable means powerful. You might say, but 1 hour isn't enough. I need to work 8 hours on my side hustle if I want to launch this business. Sure, 8 hours is great, but if you're not even consistently giving one, then 8 will never happen. You don't build an empire in a day, you build it brick by brick. That first hour is your first brick. And then the next one, and then the next. One of the biggest lies people tell themselves is that they'll start when they have more time. They think some magical block of free time will appear. It won't. Life will keep getting busy. Something will always come up, and you'll keep waiting. Until one day you wake up and realize a year has passed and nothing changed. Because you didn't claim your hours. Here's the truth, an hour doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be protected. If you're a parent, maybe your hour is after the kids go to bed. If you work a demanding job, maybe it's early morning, maybe it's your lunch break, maybe it's during your commute if you're learning via podcast or dictation. The logistics don't matter. The discipline does. You show up for that hour like it's non-negotiable because it is. That hour is your leverage. It's your investment in a future most people will never get to experience because they never had the discipline to delay gratification and do the boring, consistent work. And guess what? After 365 hours of focused effort, you're not just better at the thing you've been working on. You're different. Your mindset is stronger, your confidence is deeper, your identity has shifted. You are no longer someone who talks about changing. You're someone who lives it. Every transformation begins with time. Time is the great equalizer. We all get the same 24 hours a day. What we choose to do with just one asterisk of them is the difference between progress and excuses. So the next time you think about skipping that hour, remind yourself what it's worth. It's not just a sliver of your day. It's 9 weeks of potential. 9 weeks of UVS, the old story you keep telling yourself. 9 weeks of proof that you're serious about changing your life. 1 hour a day. It's not a luxury. It's not a suggestion. It's the minimum standard for anyone who wants more than just average. The only question is, are you ready to claim it? You don't need motivation. You need a system. That's the hard truth nobody tells you when you're fired up at midnight, planning your dream life or scrolling through some viral video that tells you to chase your goals. Motivation feels good in the moment, but it's unreliable. It's like trying to build a house during a lightning storm. Lots of energy, lots of noise, but no foundation. What actually creates change is a system, a consistent, repeatable plan you can follow regardless of how you feel that day. Because let's be honest, most days you won't feel like doing the work, and if you depend on motivation, you'll keep waiting, you'll keep starting and stopping, and you'll never build anything that lasts. Think of motivation like a spark. It's exciting. It gives you that rush of hope, that flash of inspiration. But sparks die out quickly. What you need is the fire that keeps burning long after the spark is gone. That's what a system does. It keeps you going when motivation is nowhere to be found. A system is simple. It's structured. It's something you don't have to think about. It just happens, like brushing your teeth, taking a shower, driving to work. You don't argue with yourself about whether or not to do those things. You just do them because they're part of your routine. That's how the 1 hour rule works. You carve out 1 hour every day to focus on what matters most. That's your system. It doesn't change depending on your mood, or how busy you are, or whether Mercury is in retrograde. It's a non-negotiable part of your day. Without a system, your brain will look for the easiest way out. That's its job, to conserve energy and avoid discomfort. It will tell you things like, I'll start tomorrow, or I need to be in the right headspace, But when you have a system, you bypass all that mental drama. You don't need to negotiate with yourself. You just plug in and go. This is the difference between amateurs and professionals. Amateurs wait for inspiration. Professionals have a process. They don't care if they're tired or uninspired or annoyed. They do the work anyway. They have habits, they have structure, and because of that, they get results. Even when the results are small at first, they build. Systems create momentum, and momentum creates confidence. The most successful people in any field, whether it's business, fitness, writing, or relationships, they don't rely on hype. They rely on habits. They build their life around systems that support their goals. They engineer their day to make success inevitable, and here's the key. Those systems aren't complicated. In fact, the simpler the system, the better, because simple systems are sustainable. Let's say you want to get in shape. Motivation might get you to the gym for the first week, but by the second week, you'll hit a wall. That's when the excuses start. You're sore, you're busy, you're not seeing results. But if you have a system, like walking every morning for 30 minutes and doing a short strength workout in the evening, you don't need to debate it, you just do it. It becomes part of your lifestyle, and over time it transforms your body and your mindset. Or say you want to write a book. You're pumped at the beginning, you write for 5 hours on day one, but then life happens, work gets stressful, you miss a day, then another. Pretty soon, the book is back in the drawer. But with a system, like writing 500 words every morning at 7 a.m., you create progress even when you're tired, even when you're uninspired, and those words add up. You finish the book because you didn't rely on a feeling. You relied on a formula. Systems also protect you from burnout. When you go all in based on motivation, you tend to overdo it. You try to make up for lost time. You push too hard, too fast, and then you crash. But a system builds stamina. It teaches you to show up consistently, not perfectly. It trains your brain to operate from discipline, not emotion. Here's the truth, you're not lazy. You're just unstructured. You don't need a life coach shouting at you. You don't need to journal for 3 hours every morning. You just need a simple, consistent system you can stick to. That's it. You need a framework that tells your brain, this is what we do now. You want to change your life. Don't wait to feel inspired. Build a system that works without inspiration. Make it easy to start, make it hard to skip, and commit to it like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. Motivation is a feeling. A system is a decision. One fades, the other lasts. Choose the one that builds your future. Focus is a muscle. Most people treat focus like it's either something you have or you don't, like a personality trait. But that's not true. Focus is something you build through repetition, through discipline, and through daily training. Just like you build physical strength by lifting weights, you build mental strength by practicing focused attention again and again, even when it's uncomfortable. Especially when it's uncomfortable. The problem is, we live in a world that's constantly trying to steal our focus. Notifications, social media, emails, noise, stress. Everything around us is designed to interrupt. And if you don't take control of your attention, something or someone else will. That's why the 1-hour rule is so powerful. It gives you a dedicated distraction, free space to train your focus muscle every single day. At first, it's hard. You sit down for that hour and your brain rebels. It wants to check your phone. It wants to grab a snack. It wants to do literally anything except the deep work you've committed to. And that's normal, because if you've spent years multitasking, switching tabs, chasing dopamine hits from every buzz and beep, your brain is out of shape. It's used to jumping. It's addicted to frictionless stimulation. So when you ask it to sit still and focus, it's like taking a couch potato and dropping them into a CrossFit class. Of course it struggles, but here's the good news, your brain is adaptable. Neuroplasticity is real. When you commit to 1 hour a day of intentional, focused effort, your brain starts rewiring. It learns to stay with a thought longer. It resists distractions better. It gets more efficient. That's not magic, it's science. And it's earned through repetition. Focus isn't just about cutting out distractions. It's about training your attention on what truly matters. That hour a day becomes your practice ground. Whether you're writing, building, learning, or strategizing, what matters is that you're present. You're engaged, you're not mindlessly reacting. You're choosing where your attention goes, and in a distracted world, that ability is a superpower, because let's face it, everybody is busy, but being busy doesn't mean being effective. A scattered brain does a lot of things halfway. A focused brain does one thing well, and finishes it. That's the difference between spinning your wheels for months and making real, measurable progress. When you use your hour to strengthen your focus, you stop wasting time. You get more done in that 1 hour than most people get done in 3. And over time, something incredible happens. That focus you've been training for 1 hour a day. It starts to bleed into the rest of your life. You find yourself being more present in conversations. You read without rereading the same paragraph 5 times. You can sit with discomfort longer, whether it's solving a hard problem or pushing through a workout. Your mind gets quieter, sharper, stronger. This shift impacts everything, because in any area of life, whether you're leading a team, raising a family, or chasing a personal goal, how well you focus determines how well you perform. It's not enough to be passionate. You need to be deliberate. You need to be able to block out the noise and lock in on what matters. That's not a gift. That's a trained skill, one that pays off for the rest of your life. And let's talk about self-respect, because when you build your focus, you build self-trust. Every day you sit down for that hour, you're telling yourself, what I'm working on is important. I'm worth showing up for. My future matters. That message starts to stick. You stop breaking promises to yourself. You stop drifting through your days reacting to everything. You start leading yourself with purpose, but none of this happens by accident. It happens by design. You have to fight for that hour. You have to put your phone on airplane mode. You have to say no to distractions. You have to carve out the time and then defend it, because every distraction will come for it. But here's the thing, the more you do it, the easier it gets. What was once a struggle becomes a habit. What was once a chore becomes a gift. You'll start to look forward to that hour, not just because of what you produce, but because of who you become. You'll realize that 1 hour of deep focus gives you more clarity, more peace, and more momentum than 10 hours of scattered hustle. You'll stop feeling behind. You'll stop chasing motivation. You'll start creating real results, quietly, steadily, and with power. So yes, focus is a muscle, and just like any muscle, if you don't use it, you lose it. But when you train it, when you commit to showing up daily and doing the hard thing without escape, you get strong. You get sharp. You get focused, and focused people, they change the world, 1 hour at a time. The biggest shift happens when you stop waiting for life to give you permission and start creating your own momentum. Most people are stuck not because they lack talent or ideas or even opportunity. They're stuck because they're sitting around waiting for clarity, waiting for confidence, waiting for a sign. Waiting for someone to validate that they're good enough, ready enough, smart enough. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Nobody's coming to rescue you. No one's going to hand you the perfect moment. And if you're waiting to feel ready, you'll be waiting forever. Momentum doesn't show up out of nowhere. You build it, one action at a time. That's where the 1 hour rule becomes a game changer. When you commit to doing something anything for 1 hour a day, you're not just making progress, you're generating momentum. You're flipping the switch from passive to active, from stuck to moving. And once you're moving, everything changes. See, action breeds clarity. It's in the doing that you discover what works, what doesn't, what excites you, what drains you. You can't think your way into a breakthrough. You have to act your way into one. You'll never find your passion by sitting on the couch wondering what your passion is. You find it by trying things, messing up, learning, refining, showing up again. That's how momentum is born, and the beautiful thing about momentum. It compounds. The first few days might feel like you're pushing a boulder uphill, but then something shifts. You write 1 page, then 2. You go for a 10-minute walk, then a 30-minute run. You pitch 1 client, then another one says yes. 1 hour becomes a rhythm. That rhythm becomes traction. Traction becomes speed. And suddenly, you're no longer trying to start. You're trying to keep up with how fast things are changing. It's a law of the universe. Objects in motion stay in motion. And when you're in motion, opportunities start to find you. People start to notice. Your confidence starts to grow, not because the world has changed, but because you have. You're no longer someone who talks about it. You're someone who does it. And that identity shift is everything. This is what separates people who build incredible lives from people who stay stuck in someday. It's not luck. It's not timing. It's not even intelligence. It's their willingness to move before they feel ready, to show up every day and create momentum, even when no one's watching, even when it's messy, even when the results aren't there yet. They trust that the process will pay off, and it does. When you commit to 1 hour a day, you're telling the universe, I'm serious. You're showing your brain that this matters, that this hour is not optional. It's an appointment with your future, and over time, your brain stops resisting. It starts helping. It starts finding connections, making plans, solving problems in the background. Why? Because you've trained it to believe that movement is your default. Let's be real, waiting feels safer. It feels logical. It feels responsible. I'll wait until I save more money. I'll wait until the kids are older. I'll wait until things settle down at work. But waiting robs you of momentum, and the longer you wait, the heavier everything gets. Your dreams feel further away. Your confidence erodes. You start to believe the lie that it's too late, or that you're not cut out for it. But then you try something radical. You say, I don't need to have it all figured out. I just need to move. You take that 1 hour and you write the first page, you make the first call, you build the first prototype, you record the first video, and suddenly the weight starts to lift. You're no longer drowning in indecision, you're rising in motion. And yes, some days will feel slow. Some days will feel like you're not getting anywhere. But progress isn't always obvious in the moment. Seeds don't sprout the minute you plant them, but they're growing even when you can't see it. That's what your 1 hour is doing. It's planting seeds. And if you keep showing up, the harvest always comes. Here's the truth that most people miss. Momentum doesn't care about your mood. It doesn't care about your doubts. It doesn't need your perfection. It just needs your consistency. It just needs you to show up for 1 hour, again and again, until the tide turns. And when it does, you'll look back and realize you didn't need a breakthrough. You just needed a beginning. You didn't need motivation. You just needed motion. 1 hour a day. That's it. That's how you change your story. That's how you build momentum. That's how you reclaim your power. You don't need permission. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to move. The rest will meet you on the way.